Welcome to Pregnancy Yoga for Energy. So we're just going to begin in Tadasana, taking the feet wider apart because we have that bump to accommodate, pushing into the toes, outer edges of the feet, bending the knees slightly, tucking the buttocks under, shoulders back and down, palms on the outer thighs, lengthening through the top of the head, and just closing your eyes and focusing into the breath here for a moment. Inhale, following the exhale. Taking those fingertips up to the sky, and then we're going to slowly come forward, take the elbows to the knees, bending those knees, taking the hands forward. If it's available, we can use blocks here too. And we're going to come into Dolasana, pendulum pose. So taking the arms into cross arm, we're going to gently swing from side to side, backwards and forwards, whatever is accessible and comfortable for you. And then we're going to slowly come down onto all fours. Nice flat back, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Rolling under, exhale. Curling up, look between the eyebrows. Inhale. Exhale as we curl under again, arching that back. Inhaling, looking between the eyebrows. Exhale, curling up. Inhale, looking between the eyebrows, navel to the mat. Exhale as we arch the back. Inhale as we curl down. Exhale, looking towards the navel. And then we're going to pop up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. So leading with the hips. Again, feet can be hip width apart. And we're just going to walk that doggy. So just stretching out those legs. And we can bounce here. We can bend the knees. Don't focus on getting the heels to the mat. Alternating heels, walking the doggy. Twisting from side to side, whatever's comfortable for you. Wiggling those sit bones. Pushing into the hands, bending the elbows slightly, shoulders back and down away from the ear. And just taking those knees as far apart as you need to accommodate your bump. And come down to rolling cat. So back to all fours, we take the buttocks back to the heels, rolling that chest along the mat, looking up between the eyebrows. Exhale, buttocks back to the heels. Inhale, coming forward, looking up. Exhale, buttocks to the heels. Inhale, looking up. So from our rolling cat, we come back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog again. Again, we're walking the doggy. No focus on getting the heels to the mat. Wiggling those hips, shoulders back and down away from the ears. Bend the knees. Make sure you're comfortable. Then walking those feet forward into forward bend, bending the knees and coming up, raising those fingers above the head if it's available, and coming back to center. So taking the feet just slightly wider than hip width apart, we're going to come in to triangle pose, and we're going to stretch down towards the tips of the toes. If it's available, we can bend that knee as well. We can take the elbow to the knee and raise the left hand, fingertips up to the sky. Again, if we have high blood pressure, keep that hand down at the waist. Lengthening through the tips of the finger if it's available. If it's not available, just rotating that shoulder back so that we can look up, opening the chest and heart. Okay, so we can use a block here as well, placing the block in front of the foot. Resting on the block, not collapsing into it, but lengthening through the tips of the fingers or the shoulder if the hand above the head is not available. Bringing the hand back to the hips. And we're going to take that front foot slightly further forward as we come in to warrior position. Okay, so just coming into warrior two. Again, the legs are not as wide apart as they would usually be. So we're still getting that nice hip and groin opening, but we're not having the full extent of the posture. Taking the hands back to the hips, changing over feet, front foot to 90 degrees, back foot to 45. And we're coming into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Again, hands to the shin, the toe, elbow to the knee, lengthening through the tips of the fingers, looking up towards the tip of the nose if it's available. Okay, so not collapsing into that elbow or the block or the foot, whatever The bottom hand is on, but lengthening through the tips of the fingers, really stretching and opening. And if we're not able to take the hand up, hand on the hip and really rotating and opening with that shoulder. And we're coming back and now into Warrior Virabhadrasana 2. So those arms should be nice and parallel, knee directly above the ankle, lengthening through the tips of the fingers. You can take those legs slightly further apart if it's available, looking towards the middle finger of the front hand, lengthening through the top of the head, and then bringing those feet, walking them gently back in, bending those knees again, and we're going to come into Uttanasana, chair pose, okay? So again, lots of arm variations here. Ideally, fingers stretching up to the sky, looking up towards between the eyebrows, or we can take those hands in front of the chest or to the hips. As you'll see, the feet are slightly wider apart than normal, again to accommodate a woman's wider pelvis and to accommodate our baby bump. So lengthening through the tips of the fingers if we have that. If we don't have it, hands on the hips and pulling those elbows back and opening the chest and heart area. Bringing the hands back to center. And from here, we're going to come into standing, wide leg standing stretch. Hands stretching up to the sky if it's available, or hands in front of the chest or to the hips. So knees should be directly under those feet, toes slightly turning out. And then we're going to walk those feet in again. So taking the tips of the fingers to the mat and gently coming in to cobbler position, okay, Baddha Konasana. So taking the soles of the feet together, move those feet up and down to find a position that's comfortable. Then we're going to clasp the hands and place them underneath the feet, pushing down with the feet and up with the hands, creating a bind. Shoulders back and down. We can flex those knees by bouncing them up and down gently, and this will help with hip and groin area, especially if you're a little tight around that area, okay? So just close the eyes, smile, and remember to breathe. Couple of variations here. You can walk those fingertips forward if it's available. Again, the knees are apart. We're not squishing our bump. We can come onto the forearms. We can rest the forehead onto a bolster or block, or we could rest the chin on the fist. Or we can just push into those forearms, being aware of any discomfort in the back. We can bounce gently backwards and forwards. Don't be scared to move in the postures, ladies. Again, this is really opening the hips and the groin, releasing that lumbar spine as well. Walking the fingertips back, releasing those legs. Coming into easy pose, we're going to stretch the left hand up and over, taking the right forearm down to the mat. We're going to look up towards the tip of the nose and lengthen with the left arm. So stretching those fingertips, really enjoying that opening and stretching. And coming back to center, walk those fingertips out. If we can come down to the forearm, great. If not, it's okay. Lengthening through the right fingertips now, looking up towards the nose. Lengthening, extending, not collapsing into the bottom arm, and really enjoying that stretch on the right side of the body now. Remember to breathe, ladies. Inhale, exhale, and don't stretch so much that you are squishing your baby. Okay. Coming back into Dandasana, seated staff pose. So feet out in front of you, toes active, pointing up to the sky, calves, thighs, buttocks, all connecting with the mat. And again, take those feet slightly wider apart than you normally would. Okay, so we've got nice active legs and buttocks. Shoulders back and down, hands connecting with the mat, flat on the mat or on the fingertips if they don't quite connect. Bending the elbows if required, shoulders back and down, lengthening through the top of the head. This is seated staff pose or Dandasana. Just closing the eyes, enjoying this posture. Now, this is an active posture. Do not collapse into it. That lower body, those toes pointing to the sky, activates the muscles of the legs, buttocks connecting with the mat, and just rocking and rolling the ankles, the toes, just releasing. Then we're going to take the right foot towards the left foot into Janusirsasana. So we're going to take that right foot in towards the left thigh or the calf, but not onto the knee, okay? And the left leg should be extended out, toes pointing up. As before in Dandasana, we're lengthening through the tips of the fingers and coming forward, okay? So we can come towards the toes towards the thigh, towards the shin, whatever is available. In our drishti, our point of focus is the big toe of the left foot. So that's what we're looking at, enjoying that stretch in the lumbar spine. Again, that right foot can be placed in towards the groin, or if it's more comfortable, down the thigh a little or towards the calf. We can bounce and move in this posture. I always encourage gentle bouncing movements to allow you to find optimal opening within the body. Just breathing in and out. So then we're going to grasp that big toe if it's available with the hand and lengthening through the right hand, looking up towards that thumb. So again, not collapsing into the body, opening. If we can't grab the toe, that's fine. Hand on the thigh, hand on the shin. Also, if we can't raise a hand, take that right hand down to the hips, but remaining looking up as long as we don't have any issues with the neck. Remembering to breathe, inhale, exhale. And now we're going to change over sides. So we begin this posture in Dandasana, seated staff, toes pointing up again. Now we're going to take that left foot towards the groin, okay? Or we can take it down to the calf if it's too much. Nice active right leg. Extending through the tips of the fingers, looking up towards the nose, taking those fingertips forward towards the foot, grabbing the foot if it's available. We can use a strap here too if we want. Gently bouncing. We can take the hands to the shins, the thighs, either side of the leg onto the fingertips. Looking towards the big toe. This is our point of focus, or drishti. And remember to always breathe, ladies. A gorgeous, energizing posture here. Inhale, exhale. Remember that front leg is nice and active. Don't collapse into it. Inhale, turn of the breath, exhale. And then taking the forefinger and the middle finger, grabbing the big toe if it's available, and taking that left hand up to the sky, stretching through the tips of the fingers, or hands to the hips if that's what is suitable for you. If we are stretching up, looking up towards the thumb of the extended hand. Okay, if we can't grab the toe, again, we can use a strap here, holding it with one hand. We can touch the shins, the thighs, whatever is available and comfortable wherever you are in pregnancy. Breathing in, breathing out, relaxing the face, hand back down to the hips, and we're going to gently come out of head to knee pose. Okay, so we're just going to release that neck. It's been doing lots of work. Hands clasped behind the head, just taking the chin towards the chest. Okay, clasping the hands in front, pushing that chin up, just side to side. Right hand, left hand, just clasping either side, releasing some nice neck curls. Whatever's comfortable for you, just release that neck. And from here, we're going to come down onto our forearms, and we're going to come in to side lying savasana. Okay, and you can stay here as long as you want. Namaste.